How did that thumbnail thing get like that?
I don't know. Okay, it's already on live chat. So, before I get started with what this video is about, I want to go over some stuff with you guys. So, you guys know that I got yarn from Panda Yarns the other day, and I wanted to apologize for not doing a Hot Off the Hook Friday. My brain went out the window, and I thought it was Thursday. So...
Well, due to being kind of cooped up, you know, like you kind of lose passage of time, so...
Yes. But, I'm going to make up for that a little bit right here. So, part of what I'm doing is I'm making a skirt. And that's it so far. And this is so far using a Cotton King's Twirl yarn. And I'm pretty much designing my own dress with that. So that's the skirt portion, and this is part of the pattern. And I'm not even done. I've got all this space to fill.
It's a very pretty rose. It's weird, like, looking at it in the camera, what it is stands out better than looking at it on the paper.
Yeah, it does.
Because it's like all my eyes see are just random X's, and then seeing it there, it's like, oh, it's a rose.
Yeah. And that portion, I only got the Cotton King's Twirls a while back, so that's what I'm using for that portion of the dress, but the rest of it I'm using Panda yarns, and I have not finished that little bit up for the blouse portion right here. So it's going to be a very vintage look from the top, and it actually might look vintage going down. So this piece goes around like this. I've still got plenty more of this to do. I actually might start the next portion that isn't the pattern, isn't this part of the pattern, just because I'm using a completely different sized hook than what the pattern recommends. And that's something I do a lot. I always take into account the size hook that I'm using, as well as the yarn. Like, this yarn is supposed to be used with a very thin and very small crochet hook. But I don't want that, so what I'm doing is I'm using... Where did I even set my hook? I don't know.
Do you want to go and find it?
No, I have it right here somewhere.
Ah, there it is.
What size hook is this? A size C, which is a 2.75 millimeter. So this is like one of my favorite hooks. It's a Susan Bates, and it's small. But this is pretty much the same size that it recommends, but since it's a different style rather than the steel hooks, it's technically a little bigger than what they typically recommend. Let me see if I can get it. I've got my Marauders map bag. And part of the outfit is going to have these little, I don't think it's focusing that well. There we go. Little rose buttons. And that was the inspiration for part of the skirt pattern. But that is that. Let me toss that stuff aside. And I don't have scissors. They're right up there.
Hold this.
I'll take little her. She's running around naked today.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
He's walking the dog.
And he hooked him up.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna put her on my shoulder. There's a certain way she likes to be held. And there are other ways.
So she's like a parrot.
Pretty much. Sophia. That. She's never freaked out like this before. What, you don't want to be on my shoulder this time?
Well, let's see if she wants to be on mine.
Oh, no. Go away. Go away. Notification.
Yeah. They're very stupid.
Alright, I guess she doesn't want me.
Alright. So I suppose I'll just... Ow.
No, don't do that. She doesn't want that today. Normally it doesn't bother her at all. But part of why I'm doing the live today is Paradise Fibers. So I want to talk a little bit while I'm getting this undone. Like I told you guys, I don't have the money to do Paradise Fibers for a while, and I had to cancel my subscription. And this was completely unexpected. I mean, stuff like this has happened before with family, like my dad and his mom, but this is completely different because it's from an actual company. I've never had anyone send me a free gift. I mean, I was very confused as to what was going on because I had gotten an email saying that Paradise Fibers Fiber of the Month kit had gone through, and I was like, wait a minute, I canceled that. So I called them up, and it was late at night by the time I got the email, so I had to send them an email after because I was just baffled. And then I looked deeper into the email that I had gotten, and they gave me a loyalty discount, and they sent me a free box, and he can vouch for this. It made me cry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it shocked me too. I was like, they did what?
I've
Sorry.
The Great Dane is out,
Yeah.
and we have clear view right to him.
Yeah.
So, but alright, so this is what just from opening it, and I want to say thank you so much to Bobby. I found out through the email that it was Bobby at Paradise Fibers who decided that they wanted me to have a box. And here's a little note from them. Thank you for all your fabulous unboxing videos, Barbara. We are so sad to hear you wouldn't be getting the April box due to financial reasons. We hope this lifts your spirits during these trying times. Warmly, the Paradise Fibers family. Happy crafting, friends. I love it. And I'm trying not to tear up right now.
Well, with something like that.
Well, it's the first time anyone's ever done this.
That's why I'm saying it's okay for you to cry, because it's like...
I don't want to cry on camera. I hate crying on camera.
Yeah.
So this is definitely something... She's running away.
I don't think she wants to be in the video.
I'm going to be saving. And I'm going to be writing on the back the date. Because that's just a piece that I want to remember. This is the April 2020 Fiber Club Kit little description. So, let them make yarn. And it's a little sheep with a drop spindle.
And a poofy wig.
Ooh, there's Angora in here, I believe. I think so. No, I'm reading the back. there's French Angora and Romulan. Did I say that right?
Rambouillet? Rambouillet? Might be Rambouillet.
I don't know. It sounds more like Romulan to me. But
we can ask my mom, she's good at
no,
that.
I'll be looking up exactly how to pronounce that later on. But do you want to read this?
Sure. Tribulation first makes you realize who you are, Marie Antoinette. The face of royal excess during the French Revolution. Born into royalty in 1755, the light-hearted and affectionate Antoinette became the Queen of France at only 19. She soon became the symbol of opulence, corruption, and 18th century enlightenment. Speculations, accusations, and public outrage led to her to be leading to her beheading in 1793, but her mark still lives on throughout art and fashion. French Revolution unleashed waves of global conflict and triggered the decline of absolute monarchies, while paving the way for women and their political rights. The years following brought massive changes to French society, which in turn produced profound changes in art and fashion. Express yourself with art April box inspired by the decadent textures.
Keep reading.
Decadent textures, fibers, and colors found during this lively and luxurious time period. Share what you make on social media with hashtag Paradise Fibers. Also, The Life of Marie Antoinette was made into a movie by Sofia Coppola.
And
did you want me to read these two?
it looks like there's a spin-along. Don't let proximity distancing get you down. Join our quarantine spin-along happening on all social media platforms to spin together as we navigate the unknown. All levels of experience are welcomed. Feel free to use any fiber and spinning tool you wish. The spin-along has already begun and ends April 30th.
Ooh.
Join at any time. The goal of this spin-along is to spin the most yardage. We will award the top 3 spinners with a Paradise Fibers gift card. Join the discussion on our Ravelry group. I always get that wrong. The Real Paradise Fibers for further details. Use hashtag Paradise Fibers and be sure to tag us at Paradise Fibers when posting your progress online. Yardage submissions can be emailed to us or sent via any of our social media platforms. Yardage submissions will be accepted through May 2nd. So May 2nd is the deadline for your yardage, your total amount of yardage, which if that's the case, I'm definitely going to partake.
Hell yeah, go for it.
I'm trying to perfect my tweed yarn, so I've got some black tweed yarn, and
God, I'm sorry, it's distracting.
There's a dog next door that he's in love with, and it's a golden retriever, so he's literally barking up a storm.
He's going into hysterics right now.
But I'm definitely going to join the spin-along. I love the spin-alongs. This is probably my 2nd or 3rd one that I've been in. I think this will be my 2nd, I believe. Let's see, there was last year, which, yeah, it's only my 2nd one because this is only my 2nd year. I did the spin-along back in February of 2019, and now there's this one, the April of 2020. Now more than ever, we should offer each other a smile and support while we navigate through these
these tumultuous times.
Yeah,
I'm very good at pronouncing big words.
And I'm not. We look forward to seeing you participate in our quarantine spin-along. We wish you and your families happiness, health, peace, and remember, we are crafters. We are kind, creative, strong, and resourceful individuals. We will prevail and craft on together.
Heart symbol. Hey, that's what it says on
Yes.
there.
I love this. Definitely a cute little picture, and I love the pictures on the back. I wasn't expecting it to look like that, and it looks very beautiful.
I was gonna say, maybe.
Ooh, they talk about coarse spinning on the back. Coarse spinning is a very efficient way to get a lot of yardage.
I was just gonna say something cute, but I know you prefer the profile picture you have on Facebook, but I think this would be a good profile pic for you.
I actually might take a picture of that and put it on
Maybe
my
they
page.
have it on their website? Would they have it on their website?
I don't know, but
I'd say check there first and see if you can get a...
hold this box. But that is the picture that he thinks would be great for me. And I'm gonna turn it around. Look at how pretty those are. I think I have an idea of what the colors are gonna include. It might include some pink.
So, shall we open it up?
Ooh.
Hmm?
There is Angora in here. That's why they have the French Angora description back here. No, I want to read through this.
Okay, sure.
Alright, you're gonna have to help me with any words that I don't know.
No worries.
Alright, so French Angora. I am not gonna read the technical term for a French Angora.
Maybe we should call my mom in to help pronounce that.
No. But later on, when I look it up, how to
Properly pronounce it.
pronounce that, I think it's Romulan.
I think it's Rambouillet.
Either way, I'll look that up later, and I'll make sure to, for some reason, it wouldn't give me the option of putting the description in. You can stop looking over there. He's not going to stop.
I know, it's just fascinating.
It's distracting to me that
Okay.
you keep looking over there.
Okay.
But I'll make sure to put French Angora and then the technical term and then the sheep, however you pronounce it, and then the technical term for that one. And I might even include the little paragraphs that they have here. Okay, French Angora, one of the oldest types of domestic rabbit, bred for the long, wispy fibers known as Angora wool, gathered by shearing, combing, or plucking. Plucking is very, very inhumane. I would rather comb and shear an Angora. I mean, if you have ever seen the pain that is on an Angora rabbit after you pluck them, you would not want to do that ever. So,
No.
Chinese people pluck, and they don't just pluck, they hit the rabbit unconscious. They hit the rabbit until it's unconscious and then pluck, and the rabbit's bleeding constantly, and it takes a long time for them to get their fur back. Look up videos on plucking Angora fiber. It's not pretty. I would not wish that on any animal, not even human. But anyways, there are 11 distinct breeds of Angora rabbit, each prized for its wool. Originating in
Ankara, present-day Turkey.
the Angora was first brought to France in 1723. The Angora rabbit became a popular pet of French royalty and quickly spread to the rest of Europe by the end of the 18th century, and to the United States in the early 20th century. The soft and silky fiber is a delight to hand spin due to its lightweight warmth, fine micron count of 14, and pure white color. That's actually true. My little rabbit, she's a dwarf rabbit, and every now and then I get to comb her out and get some of her fiber. and oh my god, was it soft.
Haven't you like put it in a bag when you usually get it?
Yes, and I forgot where that went.
Is it still downstairs or is it up in your room?
I don't know.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I am trying to look for a place for little lady to go because honestly, I think someone else would love her a lot more. And if I decide to get another rabbit, I'd want an Angora rabbit. I got her way before I even started making yarn. So, but I think she would be fantastic for an emotional support animal for someone because she, oh my god, I've tried to readjust a harness to put on her to walk her like 10 times and she did not once fight me, like bite or anything. She doesn't bite at all.
And the noises she made.
Oh, the little coos that she makes. They're so cute.
My mom was holding her and she was just, oh, hi there person.
Hi.
My mom was just holding her and she did not want to let her go. Like she just felt like the rabbit was just melting into her and like.
Yeah, it's.
Even I was like, oh my god.
It's so cute. But, all right. Let's see. Romulan, or
Rambouillet.
a breed of sheep that was first developed in the late 17th century
In Rambouillet, France.
by selective breeding between a select few hundred of the best merino sheep from Spain. Brought to the United States in 1840, 2/3 of this hardy breed now reside in the western mountain ranges. Hailed as luxurious French merino, this defined breed boasts a long staple length, a micron count of 20, next to skin softness, and lovely buoyance. This is a fine wool to blend with our luxury fibers to add elasticity without compromising softness. The fleece is prized for being dense with square matte fibers and a defined crimp. That's cool. So I want to talk a little bit about core spinning, which they do all down here in this blue section. So hang on. Core spinning, incorporating beads. Okay, so core spinning is a very, very, very effective way to get a lot of yardage without using too much of the fiber. Or you can even experiment it using a little bit of fiber in one spot, a lot of fiber in another. Just the specific ways that you draft it. It all matters. Pardon me. I just experiment with it. It's so fun, and you can incorporate beads into it. You can incorporate pretty much anything into it. If you want to spin over a mohair yarn, go for it. If you want to spin over just regular commercial yarn, that's coarse spinning. You've got a fiber, and then you're wrapping actual wool or whatever fiber it is you're using in your spinning over that core. That's what core spinning is. And it's fun. You guys have seen me do that before, I believe. Core spinning, a great way to spin short stapled fibers. To core spin, simply attach any yarn to your bobbin. Attach the fiber to the end and spin onto it. The yarn you choose as your core will determine the characteristics of your finished product. Oh! They've supplied this box with some embroidery thread to experiment with this month. And I have a lot of embroidery thread upstairs too, so I can use that. And
which you will send to your stitch coach.
probably. Let's see. Use the thread to coarse spin the Angora fiber or use it to auto wrap your Rambouillet fiber. Discover the tutorial for the latter on your blog, on their blog, blog.paradisefibers.com. So, tips for coarse spinning. Your core can break from over twisting. That's very true. And it makes the yarn look really, really crappy if you overspin. But you also have to be careful not to underspin.
So there's kind of like a fine art to
Yes.
making sure you get it right.
So your core can break from over twisting, so make sure your wheel is set to a low whirl with a high uptake so your yarn gets pulled into the bobbin quickly without getting too much twist built up into the core. That is a very, very, very good tip, and I use that every time I try to go and do spinning with a core, because you really have to pay attention to that. If you core your, if they have a typo, if your core yarn breaks,
where's the typo?
right there. They put
If you core your no, wait.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's a typo?
Yes.
If you core
If you core yarn breaks, it's supposed to be if your
core
yarn breaks. Simply tie a knot and keep going. You can literally hide those knots if your core breaks. That's really good. Spin the fiber onto the core at a 90-degree angle. This will wrap your fiber in a lofty and interesting way. Build the fiber up to create a thick and thin yarn. Carded bats of fiber are excellent to use in coarse spinning. They are, because you can get so many different effects with everything. Yep. Your fiber usually grabs onto the core with ease, so it's just great. If you're having trouble core spinning your fiber, try carding it or strip the top into sections and tear it apart into shorter lengths, turning into a fluffy cloud. Like, say I have a top and I just pull it out and just keep pulling short bits. You then have a puff, which is a cloud of fiber that's ready to spin. Change up the direction of the fibers as you spin with your core. That will give you many different effects. You could end up with a barber pole, which is your core and your actual fiber kind of like plying together if you change the angle to like a 45-degree angle or lower. But a 90-degree angle, when you are spinning that over your core, what's happening is it's covering your core completely. So this is something I've never really done with core spinning. I haven't incorporated any beads into core spinning before, but I have incorporated flowers with a yarn that I have made. Like you guys saw, it was last April's kit. I called it hydrangea yarn. Alright, incorporating beads. Mary Antoinette was known for her lavish, bejeweled gowns and her towering hair
adorned with silk
silk
ribbons and strands of pearls. You want me to read this one for you?
Go for it.
Create.
Since I know nothing about adding beads to this.
That's quite alright. Create an art yarn this month, complete with beads and other add-ins you may have around the house. Silk, flowers, ribbons, or even feathers will add a captivating extravagance to your French Revolution yarn fit for a queen. Wait a minute. These are going to behead you! Ah! We've included a bead threader so you can easily pre-bed sections of your fiber with pearlescent beads in your box. Simply place the threader through the hole of the bead, insert a staple of fiber through the opening, and fold the fibers away from the handle. Push the beads towards the tip of the threader to transfer it onto a staple of fiber. Repeat to...
Alright, so essentially, I know how this is going now.
Okay.
So essentially it's the same as I was adding those hydrangeas, only it would be done a little differently. You're literally just pulling a section of fiber, adding the bead onto that fiber, and then spinning it, and then plying it. Or however they have it done, however you decide to have it done in here. So that is literally everything on here except for this piece, which is the what's in your box. So I'm not going to read that, not until at the very end.
So we can do kind of like a head count sort of thing?
No, we're just going to open it.
Oh, okay. Yay!
So, oh, I hear beads.
I didn't. Oh.
Alright.
God, they always choose such pretty wrapping for these things.
Hold the box and I'll open it.
Sure.
Ta-da! Alright, so as we read, they added embroidery thread, and I love the little bobbin that it's on. I'm definitely going to be keeping that because I can reuse it.
The beads!
There's beads. Oh, they gave another flower threader. I love that little flower threader.
And what's that little package?
That-
Is that a tea?
Queen Anne famous teas.
Ah!
Ooh, there's a stitch marker in here. Oh, so pretty. Let me see if I can get that open.
Shall I keep my...
And it's a nice, pretty little box, too, so. Oh, I might have to dump it into my hand to get it. Well, there's the threader. Beads. So many beads.
The threader!
I know, I put that there.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Almost got it. So I'm going to put the beads back in the little box. Leave it be.
Oh.
Oh, that was a bead?
Yeah.
Dropping them everywhere. No more? Okay. So I'm going to show you this little bead. It's blue and pink. Whoop.
Oh.
Dropping beads everywhere.
I think they're trying to escape.
There they are in the little container. And I'm closing that up. This is the tea.
She's gonna shove that down my throat.
He likes the teas.
Yes.
And just like the last little threader that I got, it's another flower threader. Thank God, because I lost the other one. Oh, and this is a stitch marker, a little flower stitch marker. Come on, camera. No. It's a little flower stitch marker, and it's got a few little beads on it. Let's see. There we go.
Yay.
Alright. Set those aside. And let's see. Everything's going everywhere.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, just so I don't lose everything now, for the most part, is I'm gonna put everything in the bag, minus the little crimped paper. There we go. It's all in the box, and I'm gonna set that aside. Okay. While we do
The yarn.
these. So this one's squishier, so I think this is the Angora.
Can I hold it?
Okay.
Squishy. Squishy.
I was right. It's the Angora, because this, if I can get it out of this tightly packed,
Bag.
yes. I swear it's magic how they get that in there. Wow. This bag had all this, and it's not even fluffed back up yet.
Can I touch it?
Nice and soft. It feels almost like silk. There we go. It's,
Really? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
it's almost fully fluffed back up. So
Yeah.
all of that into this tiny bag.
Now let's try and put it back in.
No. Not gonna happen. I'm just gonna rearrange everything in the box.
Anyway, next up.
No, I'm done.
Oh.
I'm putting everything back in the box first.
What if I take a look at the teeth?
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow. Oh, wow. I love rabbit. I love Angora.
Oh my god, it's like so staticky.
Look at how beautifully white that is. Feel it?
Holy.
This is the softest fiber I've
Well,
ever held. Aside from Little Ladies, this is actually what hers feels like when it's been
maybe
combed
she
off of
might
her.
be a descendant.
She's a rabbit. All
Right.
rabbit fur is pretty much soft,
Oh.
but at the same time, she's a dwarf rabbit. So she's not an Angora. She's not going to have
Oh.
extremely soft fiber like everything else does. Alright. Let me see if I can get this up for you guys.
Want me to hold it?
There we go.
Yep.
To an extent.
There we go.
So, we have our little box of beads. We have our thread, our T, our stitch marker, our threader, our Angora wool right here, which is very beautiful and very soft, and our Romulan. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
And the bags that came in too.
Yep. And let's go through and see. Okay, so it's 4 ounces of Romulan wool in the blue satin bag that we just opened up. 2 ounces of the Angora wool top in the pink satin bag. 1 handmade fabric flower progress keeper pin. And 1
550 yards.
spool of plying thread, which is
The blue thing.
the embroidery thread. And then
1 Fortnum. I think that says Fortnum.
and Mason Queen Anne tea bag, a bright and smooth blend of what?
Awesome and Ceylon tea? Ceylon?
I guess. And one glossy encasement of
Opulent faux pearl beads.
and a flower bead threader.
Aww.
And they wanted to say sorry to inform us that their sheep logo will not be making a decorative appearance as a sticker in this month's box.
Because she's participating in social distancing.
Good to know that she's even keeping herself safe. But like always, the little code for if you want to get your first 10% off your first fiber box will be in the description box below as soon as I can edit a description. So, again, I want to say thank you to Paradise Fibers. I was not expecting a kit at all, mainly because I had canceled mine. But as soon as I can afford it again, I will be doing this. But I'm completely out of a job right now until the quarantine's done. But I will definitely be partaking in the spin along. And anyone else who's a spinner, you should definitely partake in it. It's so soothing and so fun. And
Remember that one time when you watched that video? What was it? Maybe it wasn't on spinning. It was on something kind of yarn making, and it just put you to sleep because you were so relaxed by it. What was that video?
I can't remember, but I've been watching spinning videos, and it's so relaxing, so very relaxing that some of the people that make these videos, they have such a soothing voice when they're doing it that you'll literally fall asleep.
It's like what?
I had a hard time finishing a video just because I was falling asleep.
It's like ASMR, I think it's called.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I am gonna be doing Paradise Fibers boxes as soon as I can afford it. But this was a very pleasant and very, very beautiful gift from Paradise Fibers. I've been with them for about 2 years almost. This September will be 2 years. I joined them September of 2018. So, it's so great. I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm looking forward to when I can afford their kits again. And that Angora top is definitely going in my save aside for a very special blend section. So, alright. I'm sorry that I didn't have Hot Off the Hook Friday this week. I will resume it this week, this Friday coming. Hopefully I don't forget again.
Don't worry, I'll make sure to annoy you about it.
You were supposed to do that this week.
Well, we've been busy. Okay.
But yeah, and after this quarantine is over, you might see a little change in how one of us looks. But anyways, have a delightful day and happy hooking, everyone. Bye.
Bye.